Hi, I'm Kathy Sorrow.
And I will be guiding you through a yin practice for shoulders. This is a 60-minute practice. We will be we will be still in each posture for 3 to 5 minutes. Yin yoga focuses on the connective tissue. It thickens and strengthens ligaments, and it lubricates the joints. Whereas yang yoga, more like vinyasa or hatha, works more with the muscles, and yin works with the fabric that encases the muscles. So some say that that's where your true flexibility lies. So I have a blanket here, and I have 2 blocks. We are going to start in child's. Actually, we're going to start on our backs with an incline to open up across our chest and our shoulders. So take 1 block at its medium height and take the other block at its lowest height. So you want the lowest height to be right across that thoracic spine. So go ahead and take your legs out in front of you and lower down onto the block. So it sits right at your shoulder blades. And then take your other block at the medium height, right underneath the back of your head. Legs are extended long. So feeling your chest lifting to the sky. Maybe this feels too much for your lower body, so you can bend your knees, maybe even heel-toe your feet out a bit and your knees coming in. So when you find that spot that feels comfortable, go ahead and open up your arms into a T-shape, palms facing up. Give yourself a moment, extend the legs or bend the knees. Find that space that you can just relax. Maybe your arms are straight out from your shoulders. Maybe they're at more of like a 4 and 7 or 8 on the clock. Or maybe at 3 and 9 on the clock. So go ahead and find that space that you can relax and close down your eyes. Start to focus on your breath. Breathing into the belly, underneath the rib cage and into the chest. And exhale, let it go. Inhale into the belly, expanding your rib cage and into your heart center. And exhale to release. Take that deep breath one more time. Inhale into the belly first. Expanding into the rib cage, lifting and filling that heart center. And exhale, let it go. Go ahead and continue those deep inhalations and exhalations. We will be here for 3 minutes. continuing to focus on your breath. Notice how it feels to be still. Is this easy to be still, to relax into the blocks, to open up your heart, allow your chest to be lifted and open? Or is this difficult? Remember, you always have your breath to come back to, your breath to focus on. Your breath is what connects us all. Maybe you'd like to set an intention for your practice. Maybe it's to tell yourself, I am capable, I am still, I am strong, I am healthy, I am capable, I am whole. Taking a few more breath rounds in this posture. Go ahead and roll off the blocks on one side or the other. Moving the blocks out of the way. Coming into a tabletop shape, pressing into the mat. Your wrists are beneath your shoulders, your knees are beneath your hips. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. And exhale, round the back, crown of the head drops toward the mat. Pull your belly button into the spine. Do this 2 more times, cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the crown of the head, and exhale, round. Really press that mat away from you. Really accentuate drawing your shoulder blades away from each other. 1 more time, inhale, and exhale. Bring your toes together, knees come off to the side. Maybe if you have sensitive knees, you bring the block beneath your knees. So knees wide, toes touch. Walk your hands forward. Forehead finds the mat to a child's pose. Walk your fingertips as forward as they will go. Breathing into your back body. Exhaling, feel your belly empty. We'll be here for 3 minutes. Maybe you feel your chest drawing a little more closely to the mat. Maybe you feel a little more ease in through your shoulders and your underarms. Remembering to breathe into any sensitive areas. And then as you exhale, release and soften.
be here for about 30 more seconds. On your next inhale, walk your hands slowly back towards your knees. Keep your knees wide, just sitting on your heels. And if this feels like too much, you can take a block on the second or third height and come to sit on that block to take the pressure out of your knees. Clasp your hands behind you, or at least draw your fingertips towards each other, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Open up across your collarbones. Maybe your gaze is to where the wall meets the ceiling, and draw that clasp or your fingertips toward the floor. So you're opening up that chest. Staying here for a few rounds of breath. Not for 3 whole minutes, maybe 30 seconds, releasing what we've done so far. And go ahead and release. Remove that block, set it off to the side, and walk your hands forward as far as your fingertips will go. Take your right hand off to the right a few inches, and then your left hand stacks over your right. And forehead finds the mat, feeling all that length in your left side body, your left shoulder, your left underarm. Your left hip is reaching back toward your left heel. Breathing lots of space into sensitive areas and exhaling to release. We'll be here for 3 minutes. And maybe as you feel a bit more ease in this shape, you take your right hand off to the right just a bit more. Left hand stacks over right. Taking a few more breath rounds in this side bend. Inhale and walk your hands back through center, setting yourself up for that side bend to the left. Left hand reaches off, maybe a little off the mat. Right hand stacks over left forehead, finds the mat. Yin is a wonderful complement to any sort of rigorous exercise or when muscles feel tight. The yin is meant to be practiced when your body is cold, not after a yang activity. Yin also gives us the capability to calm the nervous system. Go ahead and relax into this shape, making yourself as comfortable as possible. We'll be here for about 2 more minutes. Maybe walking your left hand off to the left just a little bit more, stacking the right. About 30 more seconds in this shape. And inhale, walk your hands back to center. Tent your fingertips. And just see how much closer your chest is to the mat. Maybe your chin can touch the mat. Just notice what a difference your child's pose feels like. And go ahead and walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, coming up onto your toes. If you moved your blanket, take the blanket and roll it up and bring it to the top part of your mat. We'll be releasing onto our belly. And go ahead, forehead finds the mat, bend into your knees and just windshield wiper your knees back and forth just to release that child's pose. Extend the legs long, tops of the feet are in the mat, are on the mat. Your pelvis is heavy. Bring your hands beneath your shoulders, taking 3 cobra rolls here. So inhale, peel your shoulders and chest off the mat, and exhale, come down. Inhale, lift the shoulders and the head, and exhale, come down. One more time. Inhale, lift, and exhale, come down. Bringing your elbows directly beneath your shoulders, setting up for Sphinx pose. And if this feels comfortable, drawing your shoulders away from your ears, your shoulder blades are hugging into each other. We'll be here for 3 minutes. If you'd like to take your rolled up blanket, putting it beneath your chest for feeling a little bit of support there, that's fine too. Fingers are spread, middle finger is reaching forward. Take an inhale here, lifting your heart, sending your chest forward and your elbows back just slightly, not much effort here. And breathe. We'll be here for about 2.5 more minutes. With each inhalation, imagine the crown of your head growing a bit more forward. Maybe imagining the crown of your head reaching toward the sky, or maybe where the wall meets the ceiling. We don't want to crunch into the neck. We want that neck to be nice and long as an extension of the spine. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds. And go ahead and lower your forehead to the mat, bringing your hands beneath your shoulders. Come up onto your knees and take your blanket and open it up to a pretty wide length across the top of your mat. Moving into a little more intense shoulder stretch. So coming down onto the belly, take your right arm into a T shape off to the right. And if this is my left arm, but if this was my right arm, send your arm straight out from your shoulder. So bring your left hand beneath your shoulder and bend into the left knee. Or the left hand beneath your left shoulder. The left knee bends into like a supine or a face down tree pose. Your right cheek finds the mat. So on your next inhale, press into your left hand and roll over onto your right hip. So your right hip, your left hip is stacked over your right, and you start to feel that stretch in your right shoulder. Maybe you stack your legs, or maybe that left knee stays bent and you place the left foot behind the right knee. We'll stay here for about 3 minutes. Maybe you just push your left side open just a little bit. Just stop where you feel any sort of sensitivity. And breathe. Always breathing in lots of space And exhaling, giving yourself permission to release. We'll stay here for about 30 more seconds. And go ahead and release, coming to your belly, forehead finds the mat. Coming up onto our elbows, taking your right arm, taking your left arm underneath your right. So you're threading the needle underneath your right elbow and taking your left elbow in front of the right elbow. So you have a bit of a bow tie here. Actually, come up onto your hands and your knees. Let's fold the blanket so it's right beneath your forehead. So that gives us a little bit of support. Coming back onto our belly, making sure that blanket is beneath our forehead. Inhale, coming up onto our left elbow. Thread the right arm underneath the left elbow. And go ahead and rest your chest across your right bicep as you walk your left fingertips forward. Your forehead finds the blanket, nestles into the blanket for support. Your shoulders are as square to the mat as possible. Start to breathe into that sensitive space in the top and back of the shoulder. Feeling your right shoulder blade. We'll be here for 3 minutes. for about 30 more seconds. And go ahead and walk that left hand back. Right arm stretches out all the way to the right, allowing that to release. Forehead finds the mat. Just take a few deep breaths here. Allow that stretch to settle in. Place your right palm underneath your right shoulder as your left arm reaches all the way off to the left. Bend into that right knee as that face down tree, and your left cheek finds the mat. On your next inhale, stacking your right hip over your left. Using your right hand to open up across that left shoulder. Maybe your legs are straight and stacked. Or maybe that right knee opens up, reaching for the sky, and your right foot lands behind your left knee. Breathing into any areas that are sensitive, or breathing into any sensation, remembering that you are healthy, you are safe, you are whole. We'll be here for about 2.5 minutes. We'll be in this shape for a few more rounds of breath. and slowly, mindfully unwind. Forehead finds the mat. Right elbow comes beneath the right shoulder. Inhale, thread that left arm underneath the right elbow. And walk your right fingertips forward as far as they will go as your forehead finds that supportive blanket, that blanket roll. And allow gravity to draw your chest a little more close to the mat. And go ahead and give yourself permission to make yourself about 10% more comfortable. Shimmying your left shoulder down, forward, however you need to be to relax. 3 minutes in this shape. One side might feel a little different than the other, that's okay. We're always working for symmetry. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds. Go ahead and slowly unwind. Bringing your hands beneath your shoulders, pressing up into a tabletop. Tucking onto the toes, come to sit on your heels, giving your feet a little stretch. And just enjoy that rebound feeling of all that nourishing fluid rushing to your shoulder, left shoulder joint capsule. Maybe even do a few shoulder rolls back and then forward.
walking your hands forward, go ahead and moving the blanket off to the side and bringing your blocks shoulder distance apart at the top of your mat. The blocks can be at the lowest length, medium, or tallest. Go ahead and place your both elbows on each block, right in the center of the block, and walk your knees back a few inches. Go ahead and take a deep breath here, moving into a puppy pose with blocks. Send your hips back as your forehead reaches for the mat. Your knees are directly beneath your hips. Palms together. And if this feels good, stay here. Maybe you need to move your blocks a little more close. If this feels good, stay here. If you would like to bend into your elbows as your thumbs come to the top of your back or behind your neck, that's fine too. Maybe start off with palms forward, and then as you feel a little bit more ease or softness, you can go ahead and take your thumbs to the back of your neck or the top of your back. We'll be here for 5 minutes. Remembering to breathe in lots of space and breathing out to soften. Notice where you might be gripping. Soften your forehead. Release your jaw. Make yourself a bit more comfortable. We have about a minute left.
Few more breath rounds. Go ahead and straighten your arms. Maybe walk your knees forward and slowly, slowly, slowly come to sit on your heels. Palms rest on your thighs. And just notice. Breathing. Notice how your shoulders, your chest, your back might feel just a little bit different than when you first started your practice. And go ahead and clasp your hands behind you, or fingertips touch behind you. Your shoulder blades draw together, hugging your rib cage in, shoulder blades draw together. If you have that clasp, reach the clasp toward the floor. Maybe this feels like a lot on your toes, so maybe you sit on the tops of your feet. And just release that intense shoulder stretch. And go ahead and place one block off to the side and bring another block toward the middle of your mat. And go ahead and fold your blanket a few times and set your blanket on top of your block. Come to sit on top of the block at its shortest height. And cross or bend into the left knee so the left knee is facing forward. And then the right knee comes on top of the left knee. And stack the knees as best you can. We haven't really worked on the legs, so this is meant to be easeful here. So that's why we're sitting up on top of the blocks. So take an inhale here, arms extend off to the side, and exhale, left arm crosses underneath the right, either drawing the backs of the hands together or in full palms together in eagle shape. So this is like a cow face pose. So lift your elbows a bit, drawing your shoulder blades away from each other. Fingertips are pointing toward the sky. Take an inhale here. And exhale, just fold over your knees. Allowing your head and neck to rest. Maybe you bring a block on top of that right thigh. And just allow your elbows to rest on top of that block, really drawing the shoulder blades away from each other, drawing your elbows and fingertips forward. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. Allowing your head and neck to relax. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds. Inhale, lifting the crown of your head, lifting the elbows. Really reach those fingertips for the sky. And exhale, release. Remove the block. Bring your legs out in front of you and just kind of shake that out. Now bending into that right knee. The right knee is straight out ahead of you. And crossing the left knee over the right thigh. Stacking these knees as best you can. Placing that block on top of the left thigh. Inhale, arms out to the side. Exhale, left arm sweeps under right. Backs of the palms touch or palms touch. Backs of the hands touch or palms, or maybe elbow and palms touch. Whatever feels best to you. One side might feel different than the other. Inhale again. Really reach your fingertips for the sky. Lift those elbows. And exhale, fold over that left knee. Allow the head and neck to relax. And enjoy this shape. We'll be here for 2 minutes. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds. On your next inhale, crown of the head reaches for the sky. Lift the arms, lift the fingertips, lift the elbows. And exhale, release. Taking that block, place it, preparing for our final resting pose, Shavasana. You're more than welcome to lay flat on your back, arms and legs nice and heavy, or you can come back to this heart opening Shavasana the same way that we started practice. So you can either lay down nice and flat, so your shoulder blades are nice and flat to the mat, palms are facing up, legs, feet are splayed out, chin is facing the sky. This can be your Shavasana. Or if you would like that heart opening Shavasana, that's fine too. Maybe this time you'd like to place the block that
comes to your middle back on the second height, and then the block that you rest your head on can be in the highest height. Placing your shoulder, the middle of your shoulder blades on that block, or of course you can go back to the shortest height and the medium height, whatever feels best to you. And then the back of your head rests on top of the block. Arms are out by your sides, wherever it feels best. Maybe you'd like to take that blanket and place it over top of you. Go ahead and close down your eyes. Unfurrow your brow. Allow your eyes to sink more deeply into their sockets. Relax your jaw. Feel your arms and legs getting nice and heavy. There is nowhere to go and nothing to do. Just breathe. Starting to bring some movements back to your fingers and your toes. And keeping your eyes closed, when you're ready, roll over onto your right side. And then gently press yourself up into a comfortable seat. Palms together at your heart, eyes closed, chins bowed. Thank you so much for sharing in this practice with me. It is truly an honor to be your guide. Open up, let go, and shine bright. Namaste.